Today, let's talk about the fear of the Lord, a pathway to wisdom and intimacy. When we hear the word fear, we often think of terror, punishment, or anxiety. But when the Bible speaks about the fear of the Lord, it speaks of something deeper, something holy, powerful, and life changing. Proverbs 9, verse 10 says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the Holy One is understanding." So, what is the fear of the Lord? It is not fear that makes you run from God. It is the awe and the reverence that draws you closer to Him. It's a deep respect for His power, His holiness, and His authority, a recognition that He is God and we are not. The fear of the Lord is humbling. When you fear the Lord, you stop putting yourself at the center of life. You recognize that God is the creator, the sustainer, and the judge and the king. You don't casually live however you want. You ask, Lord, what please you? Yeah, Psalm 33 verse 8 says, "Let all the earth fear the Lord. Let all the people of the world reverence him." The fear of the Lord puts our heart in the right posture. It reminds us that we serve a mighty, holy, and knowing God. The fear of the Lord brings wisdom and direction. Proverbs 1 verse 7 says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction." When you fear God, you care about His word. You avoid shortcuts that leads to sin. You make decisions not based on comfort, but conviction. The fear of the Lord keeps you from gossip, from dishonesty, and pride, because you know He sees everything. It leads you to honor, not just to church, but in how you treat others, in your finance, in your relationship, and in your private life. The fear of the Lord leads to intimacy. It may sound strange, but true fear of God leads to deeper closeness with Him. Psalm verse 25, verse 14 says, "The Lord confides in those who fear Him. He makes His covenant known to them." When you fear God, He trusts you with deeper things. Revelation, guidance, peace. Why? Because you treat Him with honor. You don't approach Him casually or with entitlement. You come with reverence, with humility and hunger. The fear of the Lord produces obedience, yes, not legalism. You don't obey God out of pressure. You obey out of the love and awe. You know that sin offends a holy God. Yes, you know sins offend God, and you want to please Him. Hebrew 12 verse 28 to 29 says, "Let us offer to God acceptable worship with reverence and in awe. For God is a consuming fire." It's not about fear of punishment. It's about love and respect for His holiness. So today, let's remind ourselves, or let's remember, the fear of the Lord is not just a barrier to God. It's a bridge to knowing Him deeper. It's the kind of fear that leads to wisdom, to obedience, and intimacy. It's the kind of fear that honors His greatness, and in return, He fills your life with peace, His guidance, and His favor. Blessed is the one who fears the Lord always. Proverbs 28 verse 14. Let that be the posture of our heart, holy fear, born out of deep love. So let's just put this in mind, that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and in fearing God does not mean you should just is I don't know how to put it, but you understand what I'm trying to say. So the fear of the Lord is the pathway to wisdom and intimacy. So try as much as possible to reverence God in everything you do out there. I love you guys and I cherish you. So peace out. Bye for now.